Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I really enjoy doing a lot of these videos because it gives me a chance to share some of the things that I've learned over the last few years doing my job. So what I want to talk about today is something that I frequently hear a lot, and that is my child different? And that's a tricky thing to even talk about, because you don't want ever to talk about your kid being unique, or you don't want to have someone express some serious deep concerns. But with that being said, there's a few things that kind of go with it, and most of the time the people that say that are the ones that have kids that they feel are a little more hyper than others, or they have some type of sensory need. So I want to show you a couple of the stuffed animals that I carry when I go places, and they help with the sensory issues, because if you don't want to overstimulate somebody. So first I have Wilma. She's just a Thai beanie baby. She's got the beans in the bottom. Her flippers are textured. She's really soft. A lot of the kids like them. It's not even just because it's a stuffed animal. A lot of times it just gives them something to hold on to. So, if your kid fidgets a lot, something like this would be really helpful. The other one I have, this is Babs. It's a memory foam stuffed ball. So if you have a kid that experiences a lot of outrage or gets very upset easily, something like this or this will help allow them to squeeze to get some of the stress out, distracts them from what's going on around them, and then they can just kind of focus on calming themselves down. You always want to make sure that you stay positive when you talk to your kid when they get to that point. So another thing that I have that's really helpful that I want to show you guys is one of these workout discs. All right, this side's got a lot of real pointy textures. This side's got some bumps. You can buy something like this to put on the seat of their chair at the table. It'll help kind of stop them from trying to move around, crawl on the table, things like that. You don't have to have it super firm. This one here, I actually have a couple of these in my house. They're not that expensive. I want to say I think it was like $12 a piece. So those are some things to help kind of keep your child a little bit more down to earth, more center focused, things like that. So I have a couple of different activities I want to show you guys today. We're going to make cards, and you can basically take this card and apply it to any type of theme that you want to do with it. So we're going to do Minion, and then we're going to do Forky. So I have with me some colored paper here. Again, use what you have around. So you're going to need yellow, 2 shades of blue, black, and a white. So first you want to have the yellow paper. You want to fold it in half, like so. This will give you the nice card that you have. And if you want, you can have your kids do this too. It kind of helps them with some motor skills. We teach how to fold paper in the program that I work for. So you notice we have 2 sides. We have the open side and the seam. You want to take your kid's hand and have them put the pinky side to the seam. I have actual hand cutouts that I'm going to use today. So once you get them to trace it out, have them use the scissors to cut. So that'll help improve some of their fine motor skills, and we'll go on from there. So you're going to need a couple different things. So a minion, to look like this, you're going to need 3 different circles. and they're all different sizes. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't have a circle punch or a way to really make those nice, and I have a nice solution for that. Just take your regular cup here. This is a fluted cup, so it's got one side that's bigger and one side that's smaller. So basically what you want to do is start with the black paper here. I'm going to use the small end to do my black circle. Just kind of go around like that. And you're going to need a second one also that's black. So what I did was I went through my bins and I found a larger googly eye. And I just traced around that here. And, you know, we're going to end up using these googly eyes to make Forky here shortly. So draw them out on there. You can cut the circles out if you want to, or if you want to have your kids do it, that's fine. It's whatever skill level they're at when it comes to scissors. Now the white part of the circle here. So you notice I have one already pre-cut out. What I did is I went and I hit up my spice rack and I did lid side down. And you draw your circle like so. So you have a pretty decent circle, and to kind of give you an idea of the different sizes here, we have 3 different sizes, so they'll lay over really nice. Now the next part, we have the Minions pants. So if you noticed on the one that I showed you, this is where the 2 shades of blue are going to come in. So you want to take the lighter blue and gauge about where your child's hand size is, because you're going to need to use that for the pants. And you're going to want to cut out a little pocket. Actually, I used a scrap piece right here on the flat end. Just use that as the top, and then just kind of do like a half moon style here. Now for the dark blue paper, this one's going to take probably a little bit more help on your part. You essentially want to take the hand and lay it right here, and if you can see, we have this line on this side, and you want to take it and you want to sit it down and draw the outline for the bottom half of your hand. If you want to glue it on there and trim it on, that's fine. I'm kind of different when it comes to that stuff, so I have my line here. You probably can't see it in the video because I use pencil, but when you get it cut out, it should look something like this. And then you're gonna have his straps, and I just took and cut some pieces like so. So when you glue it together, you want to start with the pants, and I use stick glue. It dries faster. If you don't have stick glue, that's fine. And if you notice, I have a piece of white paper down here so I don't get glue all over my table. Tablecloths work really good for that. They're pretty inexpensive. I actually keep rolls of banner paper around for my projects, so I just cut off a piece and set it down on there. And if you're not familiar with what banner paper is, if you have one of those art easels, it's the roll that goes on the top for your kids to draw and then tear. Okay, so we're going to glue his pants on. This will kind of give us an idea of how much space we have to work with for the rest of his face and his eyes. So you're going to start with the black circle, sit it down, see what fingers it covers. If you notice, it's only going to hit this finger, and a little bit over here. So we're going to put some glue like so, and put it on. Now you don't have to worry about getting some glue outside of where your thing is, how it's purple. The glue dries clear unless otherwise it says not. So you glue your black one down, and then you take your white dot. You can put some glue on here. If you're using regular Elmer's glue, a dot goes a long way. So keep that in mind when you're doing it so you don't have a giant mess. Okay, and then the last one we're going to put here. You can put the center part of the eye in any way you want. I'm just going to put mine in direct in the center here. So then you're going to take a piece of your scrap paper that you have left over from your black, and you're going to cut 2 strips, and these will be the rest of the frame part of the glasses. So just glue those on where you want here. And you know, if you're having your kids just kind of go on their own on this activity, you're going to have some pretty interesting looking minions, and that's okay. And actually my book today is going to talk about being who you are. So we're going to put this on like so. Now if you noticed, I have some extra hang off here. You can do one of 2 things. You can either fold it over and like so, and glue it, okay, or you can take your scissors out and trim on the edge of the paper. So I don't need one that's so long, so we're going to trim some of that down. I'm going to glue this other side over since I've already bent it. Alright, now as far as his pocket and his stripes go, so the pocket typically goes in the center on a minion, but you can put the pocket wherever you feel like. I'm going to put mine right there, and then we have our 2 cut out dark blue pieces. We're going to go like so, and again it might stick over the edge, and that's fine. The goal here is just to get it on the minion, and you can always trim it later. So we're gonna do that like so. So there's not a whole lot of room to fold these ones over unless you have gigantic strips. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim mine a little bit here. Now, if you noticed on the first minion I made, we have these little black dots right here. So you could do those one of 2 ways. You can use a standard hole punch and just punch out however many you need, or you can take a marker or a dark crayon and have your child draw a little circle. So on the first one I used the hole punch. On this one I'm just going to draw a couple circles right here. And then while I have my marker out, you have to think about the face. So minions have a wide range of expressions. So I already did a smiley face on the other one. So this one I'm gonna just color in a circle here, kind of like he's surprised, like so. So again, it's pretty simple. One with a smile, one with a surprise face, and if you notice, my circles aren't cut out all that perfect, and that's quite all right. So I talked about Forky. Now, Forky's probably going to be one of the easier handprint ones you do, unless you want to try and do like a flower or a cactus, and then it's just basically you just draw some pines on it. So I did not prep this one, so I want to kind of go through the outside of this here pretty quickly. And you know, something that I've found when working with kids is when they're doing a task that requires a lot of focus, you want to try not to talk to them too much, because that's when mistakes will start to happen. Here. So while they're doing their scissors, unless they ask you a question or they talk to you, you're probably going to want to sit there quietly. You know, it's okay to ask them if they want a hand, but you know, don't try and talk to them about what they're thinking of doing with their handprint. There are tons of things you can make with it. I've made cat in a hat ones. I've made thing 1 and thing 2 before. You could do a lot. You could do turkeys. Do turkeys around Thanksgiving time. Alright, so I have my handprint cut out here. And like I said, it's pretty easy. So you want to get some googly eyes. I got a pack with different sizes. If you don't have googly eyes, that's okay. You can draw your own on there. Let the kids get as creative as they want. So you need 2 different size eyes. So let me find one in here that's smaller than the other, but not too small. Well, it doesn't look like I have a medium-sized one, so we're gonna have one little itty-bitty tiny eye and one big eye. So the googly eyes I have, they don't have the sticky back on it. Some do. The ones that do typically probably won't stay on very well, so you want to make sure you still glue them on also. So we're going to sit that on like so. And then, like I said, I got one little tiny defective eyeball over here. If your kid wants to do 2 little tiny eyes, that's okay. Like I said, this is their project. So he has a mouth, right? And so let's take a red marker, and you want to kind of just draw his mouth here. If you have shoestring, yarn, you can use those. So he has that, and then we're gonna give him some eyebrows here, which kind of go like this, and there's one right here like so. And then for his cheeks, you're gonna want to use a crayon. Just kind of do that because it's a little bit, it's not as bright as the mouth. So. And we have Forky. I mean, it's pretty simple. It took us, 3 minutes to do a Forky, and most of that was me cutting out the handprint. Most handprint activities are only going to take you 5-10 minutes to prep it, less than 10 minutes to put it together. It just depends on how engaged your children are when they're doing it. If you don't think that they're going to have the ability to sit there and cut out all the pieces, have a wide range of things pre-cut out for them, so then they can just pick and choose and do the glue work, and then you guys can kind of talk about what they're doing. So yeah, and again, like I said, I have a very positive book today. It kind of goes in line with my first topic about kids feeling that they're different, or we sometimes unknowingly make them feel that they're different. So I carry this book with me, and when I have kids that struggle a little bit, even with some basic expressing themselves, this book comes in handy. So we have Be Who You Are, and it's written by Todd Parr. And if you don't know who Todd Parr is, he writes all kinds of these books like this. They have real bold colors, real simple drawings in it. And we'll get started. So we have the front cover here, we have the back cover and the spine. The people who write the book are the author and the illustrator, and I do believe he does both. So again, this is Be Who You Are by Todd Parr. Like I was saying, these real nice bright colors here. Be who you are. Be old. Be young. Be a different color. Wear everything you need to be you. We've got a nice wide range of kids here. speak your language. So we have hola, hello. The dog goes meow. I don't think that's quite right. It's kind of silly. Learn in your own way. Which one is the cat going to? The dog food or the cat food? Be proud of where you're from. Be your own family. Just be you. Be who you are. Be silly. Be brave. Dance. Play, discover, learn, and read. Share your feelings. Happy, mad, sad, proud, scared, and silly. Just be who you are. Try new things. Be confident. Stand up for yourself. I think it's kind of silly the mouse is telling the cat no. Be energetic. Be peaceful. Be the best that you can be. Just be who you are. So there's so many different kinds of people in this book. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you're from, or who is in your family. Everyone needs to be loved. Always love yourself and be who you are. The end. So what do you think of this book? If you have a kid that might benefit from that, you can get it from the library whenever they open back up. You can look for it online and buy it. I don't think it's that expensive. There's a lot of different places you can get it. I believe Walmart even carries some of the Todd Parr books. So yeah, it's, if you think that that's something that your kid might struggle with, bring it over and let them be part of it. So before I go, let's talk about one more activity. And I'm just going to show you how to prep it. Now, with the Easter holiday coming up, you're probably going to be having a whole bunch of these plastic eggs around if you don't already. So I'm just going to grab 3 out over here. So in the preschool, even into the early part of kindergarten, some of the things that they really focus on is letter recognition and number recognition. So you can open up your eggs here. If you have any of these magnetic letters laying around, you can use those, or you can even take a piece of paper and just write some on it and put it in there. So then you can put these inside of your egg and then hide them around the house. And then what you're going to want to do is, well, looks like the 0 doesn't quite fit in there. So let's get that one. So hide your eggs around the house. If it's nice outside, hide them outside and do a letter and number egg hunt. Have them collect all the eggs, come back in, sit under a tree, and have them open up the eggs one by one and tell you the letter. While you're at it, you can talk about the sound that it makes. So B makes ba. And if you really want to push the activity, you can have them tell you a word that starts with ba. So most kids will probably say ball or book. But, you know, they're going to come up with whatever their comprehension of words and letter sounds are going to be. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, always leave comments or suggestions. I will try to get back to everyone as much as possible. If you have any future ideas down the road that you want me to explore, just let me know. I'm here to help everyone as much as possible. Until next time.